Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Digital Load stream. My name is Moss. I am a QA tester here at Digital Load, and with us for this particular stream is we have Mike with us again. So Mike is our Digital Load's founder and creative director. And just to jump straight into things, what I usually ask people on these streams is, Mike, what have you been playing lately?
Bit of exciting games. We actually at Load went to GDC last week, so I was playing a few fun games on the show floor. Shout out to Haptics. They had a really cool tactile glove interaction, so I hugged myself. I also shook hands with myself. There's also exciting spatial ops mixed reality game that was there. I was also checking out Tab Games recently. They've released Samurai Slaughterhouse and the Haunted APK, so it was pretty interesting.
Cool, sweet.
So they were I was actually really keen to try out Horizon, Facebook Horizon or Meta Horizon Worlds, because I thought,
right, yep.
I'm going to the USA, I can finally see what all the fuss is about.
Yep.
But I still couldn't get in.
Couldn't get to it.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
I know.
Hi everyone. Thank you for showing up. We're going to be doing a Let's Play today. Mike's going to be playing some of the new Espire Ops challenges that have just released in our new 1.4 update just a couple of days ago. Speaking of which, to go quickly over what's come out in the latest update. So 1.4 is our biggest update since we launched the game. It features our new Espire Ops challenge mode, and has a minimum of at least 90 minutes of content, a whole bunch of features as well, including a restart from checkpoint feature that's now in single player, as well as just heaps and heaps of bug fixes and visual improvements and stuff that we showed in our last live stream. But a quick question I wanted to ask you, Mike, is we had a question during the last live stream with Pat about what games influenced him as a level designer, and it's pretty common knowledge that Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell were big inspirations and influences for Aspire, and the kind of the vibe that you went with the games with both of them. But I want to actually ask, what VR games were a big inspiration and influence for you when developing Aspire? Is any in particular that stands out as that of like that? Well, how they did that one thing was really, really cool. That was a huge inspiration for you.
Yeah, I mean, it is a great question. I think myself, I'm a massive VR junkie, so try to play as many VR games as I can. Patrick would have mentioned Half-Life Alyx last week. I have to guess, because at the start, that was March 2020, I think, and so at the time when we were just getting cracking with Espire 2, we were playing that game a ton, knowing that it was one of the first real AAA games, and so a lot of the interactions they were using with inventory, reloading, weapon selection, we thought this could be a real standard. So I played that a ton. Alex, Float, Patrick, other people on the team were playing it a ton. Prototyped a lot of it as well. Another really big inspiration was this interesting game. It's called The Under Presents by Tender Claws. I really recommend people try it. It's got a free demo, and that was inspiring just because it's one of the most, I reckon, bizarre VR games out there, and it had this insane, I guess you could call it time travel mechanic, and for a long time we were really working that into Espire 2 based off that experience, something that was on the cutting room floor. And our technical director Donnie Din actually implemented a feature. If you want to try Under Presents, you'll see what it does, and we eventually cut it, but it was something that we thought was in VR really compelling. You're basically playing the game with yourself as a co-op buddy in the Under Presents. And so that was a massive inspiration. A lot of like just ideas from that trickled into Espire. But on top of that, I mean, if there's a shooter in VR, we played it. And briefly too, we also would have weekly sync-ups with Tripwire's game director, Adam Hatch. So one thing we'd often do is play the latest VR games with Adam. This is with our game designer, Josh, and we would just discuss, what are they doing? What should we be aware of? So we did try to, we did taper that off a bit, to be honest, like towards the end of dev, just because, you always go a bit crazy. But we did try to play everything we could.
Yeah, I imagine VR being still relatively new, and a lot of Half-Life Alyx was, I guess you could say trailblazed a few particular features and mechanics that you could do in VR and everything like that, like you said, is kind of going to become the norm in VR games. That, staying on top of what is currently happening in the VR industry is like a really important aspect, I guess. So it's like handy that you're self-acclaimed VR junkie. Any particular VR games that you feel like people should 100% play, should not miss out on? You mentioned the one just before, but is there any others that you're like, everyone should play this VR game, apart from Espire 2, of course? Yeah.
Really good question. I mean, it depends what you like. I think I've been personally loving lately Into the Radius. So I think if you can, as a player, you can stomach simulator sickness, that one is worth playing, because in terms of simulation, it's stupid. You literally, every bullet in your clip you can pick up one by one. You can play guitar in it. There's just so much kind of interactivity. So that was one that I actually didn't really play until the Christmas break, and so highly recommend that. I think on the other end of the spectrum, if you're someone that gets simulator sickness, I will always point to Pistol Whip. It's a personal favorite for me. It's there's zero chance you'll get sick playing that game, and also a huge chance you'll work off some calories. It's like instead of John Wick, they call it John Thick, and yeah, I actually, that's my workout. I'll play it for 25 minutes a day.
I was going to ask you, have you actually used Pistol Whip as an exercise?
Well, Moss, I start pretty early. Like when you're a business owner, you get here pretty early in the day. So the room we're in right now is perfect play area, 3 by 3 meters for some Pistol Whip action. So there's a few skid marks on the floor where I've fallen over, or maybe I'll call it done a power slide, trying to dodge bullets.
There you go. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's what the showers are for.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Cool. Well, we're going to get straight into it. If anyone watching has any questions at all about Aspire or the 1.4 update, anything like that, please feel free to jump into the Discord channel chat and ask us. I'll be keeping an eye on it throughout the entire stream. But for today, Mike, you're going to be playing some of our Espire Ops levels. So yeah, let's get set up for that. So if you want to chuck the headset on, bear with us everyone while we get things organised. Now that you've been playing with a Quest Pro, Mike, do you find it difficult to go back to the Quest 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually are lucky to have a few Quest Pros in the business at the moment, and I can definitely see how the advertising for it and the value proposition is not really there.
Yep.
It's my personal kind of favourite headset ever.
Okay, I think we are good to go. All right, let's move over to here. Let me make the widescreen. There we go.
Ooh.
Sweet. All right, so what are you thinking to start off with?
Well, I'm thinking I should initially say I've been very nervous doing this live stream because Espire Ops update version 1.4, it's actually the first update where I've not been that involved in this update. So I haven't actually played Espire Ops for a month. So I'm thinking
This is going to be fresh. Yeah. It's going to be fresh for you. That's good.
I want to shout out to the team here at Load though, because it's one that we've had, the Espire team have really taken on board. Everyone involved. We've had Jay and Patrick step up into more of a leadership role of the update. led by Sarah as producer. But Moss, I'm sure you can attest, everyone on the team has really done an awesome job with this update.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm actually seeing this with very fresh eyes, having the last time I kind of looked at it was, yeah, I'd say maybe a month ago.
Yeah, wow. So this would be a genuine reaction right here. So you're going to go Cinder or Sooty first?
I'm going to pick Cinder first.
Yep.
And I reckon a elimination.
Okay.
There's hopefully less chance I can fail if we do that.
So you're going straight from the start. I like it.
But that's one of the things I really like about the 1.4 update, that this is an evolution of virtual challenges, and I can kind of switch between Sooty and Cinder on the fly. Really, really, really fun. Gives you kind of two perspectives on every challenge as well.
Mm.
I'm going to put my safety straps on. I don't want to throw the controllers away.
I've had to get into a habit of doing that when I work from home because my cat will just immediately go for them.
Yeah.
If I'll just be in VR headset and I'll feel this massive tug on my arm because my cat's gone for the string on the controllers.
So here we are in the first elimination challenge, and we've got the hint of the story. So there's 4 new operations in these 13 challenges, and you have to kind of find the order yourself. But the idea of Operation Shadow Remnant is it's sort of set a year and a half after the campaign. You're playing a new agent, and there's a splinter group known as Dracon. So the story is pretty light, but the thought was hopefully the fans will find it.
There's something there, and they like you said, it's kind of spread out across all the different challenges, so you do have to piece it together yourself.
It's cool. We can also kind of flag that in terms of visual improvements, we have kind of updated simple things like ammo boxes.
New ammo boxes, yep.
But other kind of visuals in the game as well. And players that may have played our campaign can recognise this as Ball's War Room, but you know, it's now an elimination challenge. A desk pushed to the side, so it gives it kind of like a unique approach. Let's see. One of the things I love about these elimination challenges is that if you are sneaky, you don't have to worry about all of the sleeping mechs that are deactivated. But if you do go loud, they're going to wake up, and you'll have more enemies to take down. And the hope was that will be fun for the stealth player, but also rewarding for the combat junkie that wants to just run and gun.
Task complete.
We'll see if we're lucky to avoid.
I see you're utilising the slow-mo shooting strat.
Yes,
Pro strats right there.
I personally love playing as Cinder because Cinder is so similar to the Model 1 operative, and having played Espire for so many years, it's been great. Put your hands up. I don't want to punch you, Moss.
Task complete.
But
Yeah, that'd be good. Feel free to take a step back if you want.
Task complete.
There you go.
Charge depleted. Task complete.
One other question we had during last week's stream, Mike, was what's your favourite weapon in the game?
It's the silenced, what do we call it, Scorpio? the black-coloured silenced SMG.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go. I answered the question. Mine was the tactical pistol with the silence, or the assault rifle that you were just using, and Pat's was the silenced shotgun.
Yeah.
So 3 different answers there. Interesting.
So I missed out on the pacifist badge because I was a bit too lethal there. But yeah, pretty fun mode. The hope is that, yeah, if you want to play it action, it'll be a different experience and a little bit of an evolution on virtual challenges, because virtual challenges in Espire 1, they were very popular.
These elimination challenges are pretty tricky to do stealth.
Task complete.
Like doing a pacifist run on these elimination challenges can be a little bit tricky.
Absolutely. Going a bit loud this
Task
time.
complete.
See if that strategy pays off.
complete.
That's one of the things I've personally missed from Espire 1 was the kind of more
Task
arcade
complete.
style reloading where you could dual wield guns.
Yeah, true.
It's still kind of there with the automatic reloading mode.
Task complete.
We're investigating a security.
Strike
Alright, so
team inbound.
now that I've called a strike team, there's a lot more guards that have to be taken out, which is going to suck. But hopefully we can avoid combat.
Task complete.
This is going to end badly.
Task complete. Task complete. All objectives completed.
Cool.
Waypoint updated.
Before you get on the, before you jump on the finish pad there, Mike, one quick thing, one bug that we fixed in the 1.4 update that I'm personally really happy that we did was emissive materials now don't turn off in slow-mo. They stay on in a slow-mo. And so it's just, it's one tiny little thing that as QA that I'm really happy that we were managed to actually get into the game.
It's also worth mentioning too that like the visual for this gold plate and also the kind of
The new
emissive
beam.
beam was updated too.
Yep.
It was actually the oldest mesh in Espire history, the gold plate.
Because we had them in we had those in the multiplayer levels, that particular gold plate that you're talking about, and so those have also been updated with the Espire Ops update. So they're all brand fancy new gold plates.
All right, I'm gonna take a risk here. I'm
You're going sooty.
gonna try Sooty on what is probably the most ridiculous challenge. This was actually the first one that our AI designer / developer Al Fewings worked on a bunch of these levels with Alex Float and Patrick.
Countdown
And it was the
initiated.
first one I saw. It just blew my mind to kind of see our hangar, and you could just drop down because technically it's pretty difficult on the quest to do that. But it is kind of cool to have a fun gameplay, so we've kind of closed off the rest of the hangar. But you've got different ways to sneak down there.
I think that's probably been one thing that I've really enjoyed with us developing the challenge mode is getting to see all these areas from the campaign kind of re-envisioned.
Task complete.
Like this hangar challenge is probably one of my favorites.
This is going to be really. I just got a feeling this is not going to end well.
All units, stay vigilant. Aspire is still out there.
All right, so it was going to be a stealth approach, and it totally got lost.
That quickly went out the door.
And so we actually have people might, spoiler alert, know the end game boss here, that we have actually got, the idea is one of the Dracon commanders is commanding this unit from somewhere else here in Camp Tarsac. So, that was excellent.
There you go.
Alright, let's try and reposition Slippy.
Damage received.
Get a silenced weapon.
Opus forces, don't lose Aspire. Hunt them down.
Task complete. Task complete.
The sleeping nets, I think, are really fun in these challenges because they're not at all a threat until you start playing loud.
Strike team.
And it's probably worth noting too that we actually had a lot of players that would play our Espire 1 virtual challenges competitively with the going for the best time, but we also had a lot of players reach out and say the timer was really stressful and it wasn't fun. And so the Espire Ops in Espire 2, the time actually counts up. And
yeah.
so
Yeah, it's something Pat touched on during the last live stream was that change. So instead of failing, you can't fail these challenges unless it's like a takedown or a stealth and you get spotted. But time-wise, you're just losing expenditure.
And hopefully it's kind of catering to everyone's playstyle is the goal.
Yeah.
Awesome. Better going. Alright, this is my redemption arc for this mission.
That also opens up, like you said, the competitiveness for the leaderboards is that you can take your time and do try and go for the score leaderboard rather than the time leaderboard.
And hopefully, when we later introduce weekly challenges like Espire 1, it gives a lot of kind of options for players that want to really get to the top.
Complete.
Or just compete on those leaderboards that we have now. That is
It's a little
scary.
It's bad luck that Mark 1 spawned up there.
All units, find and eliminate the intruder.
Okay, not doing well.
Got to find another weapon somewhere.
Yeah. Those 3 zip lines at the start, I think, give 3 different class of weapon, and that's kind of fun to work within the limits here. Or I just got to get SMG sorted.
Would you say you're naturally more of an elimination sort of player, or do you go full stealth in your
Holding off the search.
own like personal playthroughs?
I always try stealth.
Yeah.
Nervous about failing Moss, so I thought I'll go for elimination first because it's less likely I will totally fail. Just take longer to complete it. But yeah, usually takedown is like a personal favourite because you kind of get to go Panther style. It's quite exciting.
I do like takedown. I'm more of a person that enjoys a good challenge. I really enjoy playing Cuphead.
Yep.
Because I like, trying things over and over again to get like the best score or the best time. So the takedown challenge type for me was probably my favorite.
Yep.
But then again, like trying to do like, for instance, this challenge as if it was a takedown, that I had a lot of fun getting challenges on this map.
Put your hands up. I can't actually reach this gun. Drop your weapon, please.
I appreciate that you said please.
Alright. I'm gonna take him out passively.
Task complete.
Sweet. Alright, I'm just gonna steal this gun with a bit of
All damage repaired.
few enemies left. It'll be very fun. I think this will be one of those maps that the players that can get a good strategy to complete quickly, I'm going to be very impressed because clearly
Biometric.
not gone that quick.
We've seen a few internally, like a few of the dev team have figured out some interesting ways of completing this particular map. But I am, like I said, I am very keen to see what the community comes up with.
We've got the Mark 1 to worry about.
Oh, that was cheeky.
And sort of unnecessary. This next stuff goes.
Charge
Two
depleted.
charge left.
Magazine
Oh,
depleted.
this could really end badly.
Charge depleted.
I'm trying to get behind him. This is not good. Okay.
Critical repairs required.
Attention all.
One of the things I wanted to show off once was the new death screens.
Okay, so that was
Yeah,
intentional.
I just thought I'd put that out to you. But yeah, on our team we had Darren. I think Moss worked with Darren a lot on it. So Sooty and Cinder have new death screens. So yeah, I just felt like.
Okay, yeah, sure, appreciate that. yeah.
Welcome
No worries.
home.
Yeah, no, we actually showed off all of the new HUD animations during the last stream. They're pretty cool.
Awesome.
All right, what are you thinking next?
I think probably cool to show off a bit of the
Some stealth?
Yeah, stealth options. This one was pretty hard. It's definitely one I think if you want to limit like expenditure or certain things, it becomes a lot of a harder challenge.
Countdown initiated.
It's one thing to complete a challenge, it's another thing to kind of master it when it comes to expenditure and time. Especially for the elimination challenges, because obviously just killing enemies will have a much higher cost than just knocking them out.
We also hope players will enjoy too, because we're kind of going, if you've played our campaign, you'll recognise this as the opening section of the Dead City mission. And it did not have enemy encounters, so like hopefully it'll be pretty fun to play through it.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see these areas of the campaign like re-envisioned. Just a reminder, if anyone in the chat has any questions they'd love to throw by either myself or Mike, please chuck them in the Discord chat.
This one's always a great one too, because you kind of got 3 guards that overlap line of sight on each other. If you take out one, you're going to probably have to hit them all.
Another lap. Let me get back to hello?
And sprinting. So I'm going to try and avoid shivers.
Charge deflated.
I think it's time to hightail it before
Charge deflated.
Alright, let's get there.
Oh, that was.
Cool.
I thought you were goner for a second there.
Yeah, that was
But you got all the badges. You got everything. Yeah.
Ooh. So the sneaking ones, I think you've got to be a real stealth junkie to enjoy them. But hopefully it's rewarding. The big inspiration has always been Metal Gear's. Metal Gear Solid 2 had awesome VR missions, and so I was trying 300 of them.
Countdown
So I
initiated.
thought of like trying to reimagine those in VR.
Wait. Metal Gear Solid had a VR? Like,
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2, they re-released it with 300 VR missions,
wow.
and they were very similar. Like they have a sneaking mode just like this, where there's failure conditions. So
Whoa.
this is going to be or not? All right.
I'll never get over the slow-mo, like knocking a guard out and then them go flying.
Totally.
Is it weird for you playing these, because this level's from Espire 1, is it weird returning to these levels?
I think it's also quite fun, like because we have an opportunity to touch up the levels a bit, use them in different ways. We've got different ideas for how we want to use the levels. Players would have seen that a bit in our Operation Gemini co-op campaign. And also, it's weird playing this level. Last time I played it, it was very different. Gave a bunch of feedback to Patrick with kind of speedrunning in mind, and you can see how he's changed it, because there's a few people in our community that speedrun our games a lot, so you're trying to change things like where trip mines are, so it's sort of makes speedrunning more fun.
Yeah. Can't reuse the same like pathways and strategies that they did for the first game.
Yeah, and also just like placing, like an example of placing trip mines in a spot where if you want to peg it and play it 10 times in a row, it's not, like here, perfect example, feedback to Patrick, like put the mine on that side so that you can kind of just like do it while you run instead of turning the corner and awkwardly having to
Okay, so intentionally putting things into place where like speedrunners could create a flow
Yeah,
with their action.
because some small things like that just make them more fun. Got nothing. Let's see. This is not good. I got one noisemaker.
It was clutch.
Get down on the ground, please.
Get down the ground.
Alright, that was coming out the noisemaker.
All units,
Oh, how did that go off?
in the area. Begin a sweep.
This is not going to end well. This is where the noisemaker would have been.
Yeah, would have been handy.
The fun thing about Sooty is at least the cover is a bit more helpful. Alright, this is really over.
Charge defeated. City.
Almost up there.
Damage.
It was a good try. Good go.
So I guess that's a bit about sneaking, and I'll jump in and take down quickly.
Welcome
Have I got
to
time
the
off?
depot.
Yeah, I got heaps of time.
Cool. Yes. It's quite a bit harder to do, but it's kind of fun to look at them and see that we've got kind of star and badge rating for them all. The changes based off the frame. So hopefully, you know, it's exciting. They want to master it as a particular frame, because that scenario there where Sooty had a noisemaker would be different with Cinder's Trank.
Yeah.
All right, let's try. I could never finish this one, so
Okay.
for some reason, let's try it again.
This one is much more of like similar to the hangar. There's a lot of open areas and elevation where the guards can see you from around the corner.
I really like this one too because the devious level designers kind of give you not much bullets and 2 guns, and you can't really holster them both, so it's kind of like pick your poison or, you know, try and carry both. And we've got 12 guards. That's not if we don't send off a strike team. So I feel like already this is off to a bad start.
Another lap.
Let's not waste any precious bullets. Put your hands up. Get down on the ground, because I can't reach you. Wait, I am
Task complete.
Wait, are you Cinder or Sooty?
Cinder.
You're Cinder.
Yeah, I thought it was Sooty for a second. Let's just stay in there. Let me grab that first. Just want to get the goodies. Sweet. Hopefully, we're leaving no evidence behind.
Going for a clean run.
That's the dream. We've got 3 trank bullets. I mean, this is kind of rations to the extreme. Cool.
I think the issue with having to talk for the stream while you're playing is that
Task
you are
complete.
accidentally doing voice commands.
Yes. And I think some of the guard placement is really just devious. Just sort of sets you up for a.
There's that one guard that's at the top of the staircase that's always looking down. That's a tricky one.
Gotta get back to it.
I do find watching people play these and seeing how they initially decide to navigate each level really, really interesting.
Have it.
Agreed. Remember he's disarmed. Wait, look out, man.
He's just taking it. He's just like, he's not going down.
Task complete.
Alright, that guy's, I think, a bit worried. Stay there. This guy's gonna come. That's why this sucks, because he will walk through the whole map, and if you have any bodies just hanging around,
Could have
it's
set that
gonna-
alarm off there.
And this is gonna be bad. Alright, so we've got to watch for this heavy weapon specialist. He's going to catch up with us soon. And I left my shotgun.
But you've got your favourite weapon.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now I've got some more ammo, which is cool. Alright, let's see.
Anyone else got anything? Nothing.
complete.
This is not good.
Task complete.
Situation.
Okay.
Control. Strike. The unit score rate.
Charge depleted.
Spread out.
That's
Target
brutal.
striker team inbound.
There goes the strike
Charge
team.
He's still alive.
Oh, but he managed to shoot the gun out of his hand.
I feel
That saved you there.
Yeah.
He's going cold.
Alright, the strike team's
Control.
found
We've got to get
body. 21 bullets.
A little bit more there though.
signs of an
I'm not betting man loss. I
destroyed
don't think it's
formation.
going to end well. Oh wow, where did he come from? When it's manhunt, they're going to jump into combat very quickly, so the heavies suck. But for some magical reason, they are susceptible to trank darts.
They take a while though.
A little bit.
They do take a while. You can see the Z's above the head.
Is that new
Take-
in 1.4 mods? The Zs?
I don't.
All units.
I think they are.
I think they might be. Yeah.
Task complete.
It's worth noting that like this update actually is the Moss said it, it's our biggest update yet because all our 1.1, 2 and 3 updates have been basically based off the launch fork of Espire 2 for any programmers or developers listening, and 1.4 is being made like in the mainline branch, so there's just hundreds of fixes and changes that
Yeah. Update 2 and 3 were very focused in what we were bringing. So there is actually a lot of bugs and a lot of visual improvements that we've made since 1.1 update that have only now just kind of gotten into the game. So those Z's that spawn above enemy heads when you hit them with it, they will slowly
Task
pop up until there's 4 of them, until they get to the big Z, and then they'll get knocked out. So the unit 1s, that will happen a lot faster than, say, the heavies. And you'll notice when you hit them with a trank, it'll just be really slow. You can hit them with multiple tranks to kind of speed up that process,
task
but
complete.
this is takedown mode. It's much different to Espire 1 because of the strike teams.
okay, so that feature wasn't in the first one.
No, so as you can see here, I'm kind of ruining myself here by calling more and more strike teams in.
Yeah, right.
Report back.
Task complete.
Ooh, that was clean.
Almost. I tried.
Nearly.
Waypoint updated.
Alright, this is good. Trying to get out of here. Alright, well that's the first time I've actually finished that one.
Hey!
So after many attempts testing it with Patrick and team,
Clap, clap,
it
clap.
feels good. Could do a little bit better next time, I think. But at least we got to know. I guess it makes sense. Didn't take any damage.
Do you want to do the last takedown level
Operative.
Yeah, sounds good.
for our final virtual challenge playthrough?
This one's really fun. It's again, I haven't played this one in particular. Probably in about. Is this one you're talking about?
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Cool. There's another fun one that I think we won't spoil on stream that involves Espire pilots that I think is
That's a good one.
pretty smart.
I really like that one. It kind of flips the challenge type on its head a little bit.
This is funny because last time I played it, there was a bug. You might remember, Moss, where every time you pick up this pistol, it had 999 bullets, and the blue ammo bar went all the way off to the right. It was kind of a feature.
I remember the 99 bullets. I don't remember the bar going really far.
Breaking the UI. Alright, let's see, what do we got? Got 3 trank. That seems like a cool idea.
I do remember that there was a bug where so there's a max amount of gun magazines that you can pull out of your ammo pouch, and then you throw them on the ground. there currently is a maximum amount of magazines that will stay spawned in the world, and if you pull more than that maximum, it will delete the oldest magazine. There was a period where that didn't exist, and so you could just stand there with your gun, just pulling ammo magazines out of your ammo pouch, and it would just pile on top of each other. But the funny thing is that the magazines interacted physically with each other. They had physic interactions with other magazines, so you could pull out another magazine. You'd have like a pool of magazines on the ground, and then you just brush through all of them. I'm surprised that at the time it didn't break the game.
Yeah, props to Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Task complete.
Alright,
Task
hopefully
complete.
this is going to go cleanly. This one's cheeky. We've got a camera on a guard, so if you take him down,
The camera's gonna say, yeah.
which I think you can be a bit more fun in these challenges, focus more on the gameplay than the real world believability, and I reckon it's, I believe players like it. Aim assist.
Complete.
Well, the challenges in the Inspire 1, they were
Hostile. In
Oh,
task.
virtual.
they're very far from being realistic. So this is a very big jump.
Task complete. Task complete.
Oh,
Ammunition.
That was close.
so this is where the stealth goes out the window a bit.
Send a support unit to check it out and report.
It is funny watching people play these, and the moment that they've killed someone, it just
Disintegrates.
yeah, just the stealth element just completely eradicates.
Yeah, it's like what happened to the smooth.
Yeah.
gameplay?
What happened to smooth gameplay?
Why did you turn into a murderer? Like, all right, I think I'm going to go for the trank strategy quickly.
Nice hit.
Unit,
Task
do you
complete.
copy? Respond. This is
Hopefully
HQ.
these
We've got a
people
silent
don't wake
soldier.
up.
Strike Team Zulu. Send a support unit to check it out and report back. Stay sharp.
Snooze, you lose.
Task complete.
Are you there?
All objectives
The soldiers
completed.
missed their report.
Waypoint
Strike
updated.
Team Alpha.
Very surprised you didn't awake any utility mechs during all of that.
Me too. Because that would have ruined.
Nice work though.
Very cool. Well, how many ops was that? That was
Welcome
pretty.
operative.
You've done a few. You've done a bunch of them.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, what do you think, Moss? That we do another, or is that's it?
Let's do one more. I think we got plenty of time. You pick though.
Cool. I am going to attempt the Mess Hall Massacre.
It's a good one.
This one, if you're a fan of Espire 1, it was called the Triton Challenge. We actually named all of our VR headsets in the building based off all the Espire 1 challenges. They were all named after spiders.
Down.
This time around, Moss actually led this. We've given them all like a, what would you call it? Like an actual name, I guess.
Yeah.
So they've got, this is the Mess Hall Massacre. It's not named based off a
Yeah.
scientific spider.
We were Pat and I were talking about during the last stream how we constantly get confused between the code name that we use in studio for each level, and then the actual name that we end up giving the challenges at the end, or the levels at the end.
Yep. And it
Task
hurts your brain.
complete.
It does a little bit.
Task complete.
Office forces, don't lose Aspire.
Especially because there's 13 Espire Ops in the 1.4 update. There's a lot of level names to keep track of.
Absolutely.
just bunny hopped off him.
I like that there's a sound effect for
complete.
Utility makes
Complete.
painful. That feels it's times like these that I wish we had it made.
Luckily, this is an elimination challenge.
Yeah.
Task.
And it is a
Complete.
lot more fun when you get to go fast paced like this, and I'm out of practice, but I know Recklessly and the team like to do the throwing.
You just did the classic
Task.
Bit of a
Complete.
lunge.
slow-mo throw.
Ouch, my head.
Task.
Four
Complete.
enemies. 4 enemies, where are they? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So the fun thing about these elimination ones is, as you can see, because I've gone loud, I now have to deal with a Mark 1, which is going to be, you can see what happened last time. Didn't end very well for me. Oops. Alright, I've got a surprise on my side.
Cinder repaired.
I hear there's a weak spot.
You hear?
Yeah.
There's a rumor.
Let's try that strategy this time. Right.
Task complete. Task complete.
That was
significantly
quick.
easier. And we'll go for the whole
Charge
gun.
completed.
No.
Task
Alright.
complete.
Still okay. Oh, one more enemy left. Alright, where are they hiding?
Yeah. I love how that guy's just standing in the corner, just being like, I'm not getting involved.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay here.
Charge depleted.
Oh no! I'm gonna need to just
Task
go
complete.
fisticuffs.
All objectives completed.
Mm,
Waypoint
okay.
updated.
So I'm sure this could be a little bit done a little bit quicker
Depleted.
in the
Area for any intruders.
in the future.
Before you move on, can we? I want to see what the leaderboards are at the moment. Actually, this is a new feature that we've added for Espire Ops, is that we now have at the frame that you completed the challenge with. So you've got a Cinder and a Sooty score, but you also have an all which compares your best run of either to everyone else's. So I'm actually curious, what's the fastest time and score currently on this level?
So time wise, it's
38
seconds.
38 seconds at
Oh my
Cinder.
gosh. And I was 3:15. So
Oh, you're 11th? Yeah, no, that's not bad.
Bit of room for improvement.
Yeah.
And then cost wise, negative 54. Because I think in elimination challenge to get to positive,
You have
that's
to not actually kill anyone.
Yeah.
It's knocking people out, so.
using a repair tool as a melee. But that's where you're going to get positive, and you can clearly just wipe out the clean up on the leaderboard. But the new leaderboards are really fun. Hopefully, as the update kind of sits out there for a bit, we'll see players owning it.
Sweet. Cool. Well, I think that's gonna be it. Thank you, Mike,
Welcome ho.
for doing that, for putting yourself out there and showing us what you got. Let's mute these. But yeah, just a slightly shorter stream this week. Yeah, no worries. Thank you everyone so much for jumping in. Hopefully we're keen to do more of these, shorter, more casual Let's Play streams in the future. So if you have any suggestions for levels you want us to see us play, or challenges you want us to see us play, I had some ideas that, depending on like who I was able to get as a guest on the stream, I was thinking of coming up with some like fun handicaps, like you can only be in crouch, or you can't sprint and things like that. So if anyone has any ideas of like fun little things like that, please let us know. We'll be keeping an eye on our Discord channels. But thank you again, Mike, for being on the stream this week.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for organising this, Moss.
Yeah, no worries. Keep an eye out for our next stream. Hopefully it won't be too long until we see you all next. But thank you everyone for hanging out, and see you at the next stream.